So you have a unique perspective. What do you think about what's going on right now with this cop on Big George stepping on his neck and all that?
I think when we see these situations, I think we also have to understand that we have to get very specific. We have to get so specific, and what I mean by that, we have to stop viewing it with such a broad view. Meaning, we have to stop placing the blame on the whole force and everybody of such a certain race, everybody with a badge, and we have to get into who that person is. And if we want to place the blame on anybody, it should be ourselves for not doing more than what we think we're doing. We leaving it at the reason why people always ask me, like, why you don't say this, why you don't do that, is because what else am I gonna do after that? Some people put a tweet out and they think they did something. Some people wear a shirt, they think they did something. What you gonna do after that? Did you actually help the person? Did you actually help the family? Did you actually go out there and do something? So if I ain't about to do all that, then I ain't about to do nothing. I pray for you.
You say the follow through is more important than wearing the shirt or talking about it. Is actually
learning about it. What we need to do is we need to learn about it more. If we want to scream about something, know what we're screaming about. We want to protest about something, know what we're protesting about. Because if we want to get into it, it's a bunch of facts that we think we know that we don't know. So if we want to get into it, first know what we're talking about before we talk about it. Because we scream about things that sometimes they isn't even true.
Cities have done, and in fact, we will get better than we've been. We got good enough to destroy cash funds. You don't have to worry about going to jail for some petty. We got smart enough to decriminalize marijuana. How smart are we going to be in the next 15 or 20 years to keep us ahead of this curve? So that much like when South Africa suffered apartheid, you had Andy and other politicians that could make sure that Atlanta said, Coca-Cola, we love you, but if you don't pull out of South Africa, we're going to leave. We're not going to drink Coca-Cola anymore. Coca-Cola jumped on their side and apartheid ended. So we have an opportunity now. Because I'm mad, I don't have any good advice. But what I can tell you is that if you sit in your homes tonight, instead of burning your home to the ground, you will have time to properly plot, plan, strategize, and organize and mobilize in an effective way. And two of the most effective ways is first taking your butt to the computer and making sure you fill out your census so that people know who you are and where you are. The next thing is making sure you exercise your political bully power and going to local elections and beating up the politicians that you don't like. You got a prosecutor sent your partner to jail and you know it was bullshit, put a new prosecutor in there. Now's your election to do it. You want a different senator that's more progressive, that pulls marijuana through, now's the time to do that. But it is not time to burn down your own home. I love and I respect you. I hate I don't have more to say. I hate I can't fix it in a snap. I hate Atlanta's not perfect for as good as we are. But we have to be better than this moment. We have to be better than burning down our own homes. Because if we lose Atlanta, what else we got? We lose an ability to plot, to plan, to strategize, to organize, and to properly mobilize. I want you to go home. I want you to talk to 10 of your friends. I want you guys to come up with real solutions. I would like for the Atlanta City Police Department to bring back the Community Review Board, one that Alice Johnson was formerly under Chief Turner. We need a review board here because we need to get ahead of it before an officer does some stupid shit. We need to get ahead of it. That's my recommendation to my mayor and my chief. Let's get a review board. Let's get ahead of it, and let's give them power. We don't need an officer that makes a mistake once, twice, 3 times, and finally he kills a boy on national TV, and the next thing you know, the country is burning down. We don't need a dumbass president repeating what segregation is saying. You start looting, we start shooting. But the problem is some officers black and some people gonna shoot back. And that's not good for our community either. I love and respect you all. I hope that we find a way out of it because I don't have the answers, but I do know we must plot, we must plan, we must strategize, organize, and mobilize. Thank you for allowing me some time to speak. I'd like to appreciate our chief for what she said on YouTube. I thought it was very bold to do. I'd like to appreciate our mayor for talking to us like a black mama and telling us to take our ass at home. And I'd like to thank my friend for convincing me to come here. And I'll defer to Joe Beasley because he knows a hell of a lot more than me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I guess I'm one of the fortunate ones that grew up here in metropolitan Atlanta 83 years ago. So I've really seen real change. And I appreciate Mayor Bottoms for asking me to come and stand here with the group because, change is here. I remember very well when we couldn't even venture in this building. But now the mayor is the mayor of this city. So we've got a great chief here. And I think that the word from the mayor is to go home. Because when you're in a crowd, the adrenaline is pumping. And you didn't really mean to get in trouble when you came out. But in fact, when you're following the crowd, whether the crowd does you.
So I just want to give my POV. Seeing people looting and going extremely outraged, it makes me feel like, yes, finally, motherfuckers is gonna hear us now, yeah. And as much as people is so against it, at this point, I feel like I'm not against it, even though it do scare me, and I don't want anybody to get hurt. But it's really frustrating. You want to know why? Because police brutality been going on even way before I was born. But it has been more visual ever since, social media started getting popping. And ever since, let's say, Instagram started, just one app. Let's say since Instagram started, how many peaceful protests have we seen? How many trending hashtags have we seen? These hashtags keep freaking repeating themselves. I feel like I've done videos against police brutality. I feel like this is like my 7th time. Like I've been doing fucking police brutality videos ever since my teeth been fucked up. And the only shit that changed has been my fucking teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like people are tired. So now they're tired of showing that it's like, oh, motherfuckers are educated. Motherfuckers could take the grown and adult way and act peaceful. People are tired of that. So now this is what people have to resort to. And another thing, I also want to say this. Another way for the people to take power, I don't want to make everything political, but it is what it is. It's by voting. And when I say voting, I'm not only talking about the president. We could vote for mayors. We could vote for judges, and we could also vote for DAs, district attorneys. Yes, we could vote for these people for our county. We sure can. The people that are voting for these people are most likely cops, most likely rednecks. That's why every single time that some fuck shit like this happen, it goes to their favor. Because these people have the powers, DAs, these judges, these attorneys, they have the power to prosecute these cops when they do fuck shit like this. That's why we have to vote. We have to be aware when these elections are going on. We have to be aware and inform ourselves of these people that are in power. That you think because they're not a senator or they're not a governor or they're not a president, they don't have no power, but they have power where you live at. And that's a fact. My name is Cardi B, and I'm going to bed. Good night.
Happy Sunday. Getting something off my chest real quick this AM. Message to all journalists, reporters, etc., man. You guys control the narrative. So I feel like you guys have a job to do about pushing the correct narrative. And right now I'm watching that narrative slowly change into the rioting, into the looting. But we're not talking about the reason. We're not talking about why we're witnessing what we're witnessing. There's a reason. And I don't want to lose sight of that reason. That reason is because another man died at the hands of a police officer. George Floyd, rest in peace, as we know, was killed by a cop. It was another senseless death. When I say another, that's because we got several that we can talk about. Several that we can talk about. That's the reason. So within the narrative, when you know that people are looking for justice, when you know that people are looking for this to stop, when you know that we're looking for a correction, your job should be pushing that as well. The media, you should be pushing that there needs to be a change as well. You should be pushing. It's not just the people that are protesting. You know why they're protesting. You know why people are enraged. You know why they're angry. So as the media, you should be on the side of angry people. You should be on the side of the solution and not the problem. We've seen a narrative change before. It happened the same thing with Colin Kaepernick. He started off kneeling and it was for social injustice, and that quickly got changed. The narrative quickly got changed, and it became disrespecting of the American flag, not respecting the country, not respecting the soldiers. That's not what it started off as. He wanted to bring awareness to social injustice, plain and simple. And it got changed. It got switched, maneuvered all over the place, and before we knew it, who knew? Who knew what it was? Because the definition changed so many times, because the media controls the narrative. If you're going to control the narrative, then be a part of the solution. Within a solution is defined for change, and that change is justice. That officer was only charged with 3rd degree. It should be 1st degree murder. The other officers there still have yet to be charged. They should be charged. That's bringing justice. That's making people feel like something is going to change. Force the hand of the people that are higher. Everybody's conversation should be about the change. We can't keep just saying equality. We have to take action and steps in going in that direction. Control the narrative correctly. Control it correctly. Make sure people know what the anger and frustration is about, and make sure that you're on the side of wanting to see justice. Charge the other officers. Make sure that first officer, make sure he gets the goddamn book. Whatever it may be, push that narrative. Don't change the narrative to just looting and rioting. And when you do, you make sure you show everybody that's out there doing it. Because it's not just us. Control the narrative.
I'm wishing my sisters and my brothers strength right now, because I know we tired, and I know we need it now more than ever. Clearly we got the whole world's attention, obviously, and justice has to be served, period. And if it's not, I don't think things are going to change or get better, you know? And I know I've been protesting. I know a lot of us been out in the streets protesting, and it's been a lot of unity, but I also see a lot of people with ulterior motives that look like undercover cops. I don't know if they are undercover cops, but starting a lot of the conflict, a lot of the issues, and we've all seen places where they got them bricks conveniently located to wreak havoc, and I don't know what the ulterior motive is. I don't know if it's to make us look like we wild beasts or don't have control, but we clearly are not wild beasts. We're extraordinary, talented, magical people that if you took us out of the equation, the world would be very, very bland. And our ancestors built this country for free, okay? So I'm just talking from the heart right now, but one of my biggest issues is that this government, this current government is built, and country is built on a racist foundation. A lot of us know this. And, you want to talk about systemic oppression. You want to talk about the justice system being targeted to people that look like me. And it's impossible to get out of once you're in there, I was talking with my homie Mike about some of the first police forces ever was made during slavery down south in them southern states. And their main focus was to capture, apprehend, beat, discipline slaves, rip them apart from their families, keep them apart, and God knows whatever else. And if they didn't do that, those officers didn't do that, they would be punished. So that's what I'm saying. That's how deep it goes back. So no wonder that a cop feels like they could kill a black man or woman and feel like it's a way of life. You know what I'm saying? It's like this country has a big ass gash right in the middle of it where all its organs are, that's so deep and been there so long that it's just rotting from the inside. And, we could put makeup on top of it and concealer and shit to make it look like it's not so bad, but it is that bad, and we're experiencing it in real time on a daily basis. So you want to talk about land of, equality and freedom, I don't feel equal and I don't feel free. You know, of course, let's speak up and be heard, but things have to change. Maybe these rules have to get updated. Maybe these laws have to get updated. And government has to relay that foundation, because it is a racist foundation right now. And it feels like it's a long road ahead of us. So I'm just wishing to my sisters and brothers, again, so much strength. And to everyone supporting us. Black Lives Matter. God bless you. And I'm so proud to be black. I'll see you guys soon.
Outside of the maze. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like Eminem is my good friend. There was a home intruder in his house who got close enough to him to smell his breath. His safety was compromised on every level. He has armed security in his house 24 hours a day. They didn't kill him. They didn't punch him. They were well within their right to do horrible things to that man, but he didn't. You know why? Because it wasn't necessary. So if Eminem, a psychotic rapper, can exercise that sort of tact, I have to hold you to the same standard as a public official or somebody that works for the people. And I can't empathize with somebody who doesn't sympathize for people, who doesn't sympathize or empathize with the losing of lives. People are more outraged about who's right versus who's wrong than they are about losing human lives. If I was
we waking up in this pandemic, we waking up poor, we waking up in poverty. Niggas getting a fungus at a higher rate. Niggas' education's worse. Niggas in prison more than goddamn anything. What you expect? What the fuck you expect? It's gonna be niggas burning shit, throwing rocks. It's gonna be niggas. It's gotta be some niggas getting some money too. We gotta get money. It costs us money to go to war, y'all. We gotta eat. Y'all niggas ain't out there fishing and hunting deer. We gotta eat. And make sure we understand what this about. Don't be just running through the motherfucking streets looking for some motherfucking D-Wade shoes or some Nikes, nigga. This for George Floyd and every other young nigga that died.
For 400 years, you had your knees on our necks. A garden of evil with no seeds of respect. In America's mirror, all she sees is regret. Instead of letting blood live, they begging for bloodlet. Revenge is a dish that's served on platelets. Transfusion of confusion, abusing our intellect. I can't be bought with a $1,200 check, even though $1,200 can make a meal stretch. My mama wasn't rich, but she earned my respect. She made a little bit of money for a lot of blood, tears, and sweat. Jumping up and down on police cars, I'm vexed. After Chauvin killed George Floyd, we got next. Molotov cocktails, anarchy on the set. The rich took the loot, so now we loot shit. Feeling like a caged tiger that's whipped to do tricks. That's why I started fires and yelled and threw bricks. They tried to run me over and arrest me and shit. Tase pepper spray and engage with the kid. They ran up in the state house with them AKs quick. But let a nigga try and do that white boy shit. Won't be no rubber bullets ricocheting off ribs. But the white supremacists go in the cops' faces spit. Try to barbecue, Becky call the cops on the kid. Hoping and praying it'd be some Emmett Till shit. Sandra wasn't bland, they hated Mike cause he brown. Trayvon should have had an Aston Martin riding around. Amadou Diallo, it's way too many to follow. Vato, how much of my pride I gotta swallow? God only knows how deep this plan goes. I was dealing with this shit as a teen in Kangos. Harassed by cops, word to my ancestors' souls. And watching that man die slow left a hole. He cried for his mama as the murder unfold. If it wasn't for them phones, Chauvin would be at home. Feeling justified because of George's skin tone. I'm telling it to those with melanin, you're not alone. The new Malcolm, Martin, and Marcuses are now grown. America's a graveyard full of black men's bones. And I ain't got to tell you that Breonna Taylor got slayed in her own home. Had they lived, Sean could have rocked bells. Eric could have garnered attention. Beyond the t-shirts and obituary mentions. Oscar could have been counting grants. Tamir could have went to Rice. They owed them cops nothing, but all of them paid the price. So yeah, you right. We should protect our Second Amendment rights. Cause in a second, a dirty cop could kick the door in at night. A 2-4-2 finna life for life. We refuse to live in hell while you living in paradise. Being black in America's like rolling a paradise. But the stakes are way higher, you gambling with my life. Black Lives Matter. Forever.
Hey, yo, everybody asking me, Troy, why you ain't black out your page and all that. I got a question for you. What the fuck is that doing? Oh, you fake woke motherfuckers, so pay attention. That's meant to pacify us. That's meant to show us like, hey, on this one day, we all came together and this was the climax of the movement. Man, fuck all that. Stop telling motherfucking white people, hey, don't spray paint on the wall. They gonna think it's a... Man, fuck all that. I'm happy they ride with us. I never seen so much unity amongst the races. Guess what? If it wasn't white people in them crowds tearing shit up and bugging out, it wouldn't be rubber bullets and tear gas. It would be blood in the streets that would be shooting and firing on us because they don't give a fuck about black people. That's a fact. Nigga, we live in America. When in Rome, you do what the Romans do. Whenever America wanted their liberties and their freedom, that shit wasn't taken in no peaceful protest. That shit was taken in blood. You out here trying to protest peacefully. We wasn't suppressed in peace. We were suppressed in violence.
I know I ain't no goddamn lawyer and I ain't pretending to be now, but I do got common sense. If me and 3 more of my partners are somewhere and one of us decide to commit a crime or a murder, and the other 3 of us set up a parameter so nobody can't come and stop that crime or that murder from happening, ain't nowhere in hell that ain't accessory to murder. It ain't nowhere in hell. So this video that I done watched with an officer killing a black man on the ground with his knee on his neck, and the other 3 to set up parameters so nobody can't come close enough to stop this murder from happening, ain't nowhere in hell. It take all this protest just for 3 other officers to get charged with accessory to murder. Ain't nowhere in hell. In a million years, I've never seen it. So maybe I'm just crazy and I'm missing the point. But aiding in the bed is goddamn sure accessory to murder.
You see what's going on? We outside. We outside. Front line, nigga.
We gotta stop it, man. Let's get it together.
Go ahead, young. You want me? Go ahead, young.
But look, they say we gotta grip the steel, have dribble skills, and get a deal. We chose option number 3 because it appeals. Got everybody respect because this nigga real. They say we got a diet better eating shitty meals. They say the Afro-American starter pack is jail time, high cholesterol, and then a heart attack. All the facts is that lying is just a part of rap. Nicole Bastard, dope rapper, and artifact. Black Lives Matter.
Yes, Lord. Okay. Quick question. As I look on the news and they show every single city that's protesting, looting, or whatever, it look like all the 12s got the PPE. They need it. They ain't have none for no front line, nobody at the hospital. They needed masks, they need all kind of donations. These police might just got a new shipment of shields. You can use them little helmets they use, and you can use them in the hospital. As far as when this shit gonna stop, it ain't gonna never stop until y'all arrest 3 fucking cops. Just arrest 3 cops and charge that other bitch with 1st degree. That's all you got to do. Well, that's up.
Saying once the looting starts, the shooting starts. You have a president talking about the Second Amendment as a use for people to come out here and use firearms against the people that are protesting. This is the messages that we're seeing. I don't know if you on social media because the news don't tell you everything. But you have to pay attention to what's going on, or else we have a president that's trying to incite a race war, and when the borders are closed, we can't leave. You have people in here that need your help. This is when you and y'all stand together with the community, with society, to stop the governmental oppression. Period. We need you. So then march with us. March beside us. You get your people. Y'all march beside us. March beside us. March beside us. Let the revolution be televised. March beside us and show us that you're here for us. Make history with us, please. Let's just do it. March with us. We'll start marching, and you march with us. Please. Just do it. Do it. Just come on. Be the change. Do it. Please do it. Please. We are good people. March with us.
Make you do. Because I can't leave this post. I will march through this street with you guys to that next intersection.
I don't know.
I will march from this intersection to that intersection, but I have to control this area.
Control. What is it to control, man? March with us. It was send a huge message. We just march with us. March the whole round with us. March you and your men. Y'all protect us. Protect us. Y'all march with us. March around like we just did. Do that march with us. Y'all stand beside us. No, you don't, because you the protector. So if you can't patrol yourself. If it's you that's supposed to be patrolling us, then walk with us.
I'm also protecting some of these businesses.
Okay. Okay.
Well, can you do me a favor? Can you do me a favor? Can you take a kneel? Can you take a kneel?
I don't know. They ain't enough for me.
Let me see you
They
take
ain't
a
enough
kneel.
for me.
Thank you. Thank you. Let me see you take a
They
kneel.
ain't enough for me.
Let me see you take a kneel. Let me see you take a kneel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let's all kneel. Let's all do it together. Come on. Everybody, let's all do it together. If you against George Floyd, take a kneel. Let's all do it together.
Oh, y'all in the back, take a knee. Take a knee.
If you standing up, we thinking you with it. Come on, take it.
March with us. March with us.